We're going to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakadash, Yahweh in the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai in the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Now we're going to get into these prophecies, and we're going to show how prophecy is the key to the scriptures, and it's what the scriptures is focusing on, and what the servants of the Lord should be focusing on. So I'm going to start off with Ecclesiasticus, the Apocrypha, verse chapter 39, Sirach, or what they call Ecclesiasticus. It says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies." Okay, so the prophets of the Lord would be occupied in prophecies. The servants of the Lord would be occupied in prophecies. Now when you go into this is 2nd Esdras 15, starting at verse 1. 2nd Esdras 15 and 1, it says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in your mouth, says the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper." So who caused the scriptures to be written? Not no man. See, who wrote that Bible? They would go to talking about. The Lord calls them to write it down. He says, "For they are faithful and true." So the Lord got these prophecies to be written down. And what would the prophets that's prophesying, what would they be prophesying about? Let's get that in Jeremiah. Jeremiah 28, down with verse 8. It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence." So the prophets came out and prophesied against these kingdoms. Okay? And this great kingdom that's ruling now is being ruled by one specific nation. Okay? This is not some United Nations is in the rulership seat. That's a bold-faced lie. It's one nation that's running the whole earth, that has an empire, just like the Romans. It was one nation ruling. It was one nation controlling these Romans. Okay? It says, let's get some backup on that. This is Daniel chapter 7. We're going to start with verse 23. Now we know in Daniel chapter 2, he named all of the nations that would be ruling in that statue. It was gold, was the Babylonians. This is when Daniel was in slavery as the tribe of Judah to the Babylonians, the Hamites. Then it went down to the Medes and Persians. Okay. Then it went down to the Greeks and you had the Assyrians right along with the Babylonians. They pretty much was around the same time. Then you had uh, the Greeks and the Romans. Now, Salaki, you had the Persians after the Babylonians, and then you had uh, Alexander the Great took over um, Darius, the king of Persia, and then Alexander the Great reigned as the Greeks. And who was these Greeks? Let's start there. Who was these Greeks? Now, here in Daniel 7, it tells you what the Greeks would be doing. Because the third beast and the fourth beast is the same people, man. That's why they call it the Greco-Roman Empire. But here in Daniel 7 and 23, it says, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth. So we prophesied against the fourth kingdom on the earth. It says, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms and shall devour the whole earth and tread it down and break it in pieces. Okay, so this final kingdom would be a great kingdom that would possess the whole earth. They would have an empire. See, they would have a global currency. See, they would have a military force that would be outmatched, where they have embassies and military bases covering the whole earth. It says, verse 24 of Daniel 7, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. So this is not that those horns and that beast is talking about 10 kings. So that final kingdom would have a conglomerate of nations or conglomerate of countries backing them up. See, it says, 10 kings shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. This is why we prophesying against this great kingdom, because he's speaking great words against the Most High. We don't supposed to be talking about God bless them. We saying God destroy them. Bring your prophecies into play. Make your prophecies be fulfilled. Or they say hasten the day. It says, and he shall wear out the saints of the Most High. See, he's wearing out the saints of the Most High, this fourth kingdom. And think to change times and laws. See, and he has a religion. This fourth kingdom is not just a group of people that don't identify with any kind of philosophy or religion. They have a philosophy and they have a religion. And they tell you straight up what is their philosophy and their religion. See, they don't hide it, and you got to figure it out. You can Google it, it'll pop up and show that these people got a kingdom, and they telling you what their kingdom is dealing with. Then you had that the evidence. Now, when you go into going back to that global currency, the global currency is that petrodollar. See, the global reserve currency. Most of these countries got the Federal Reserve banking system in their nation. And who is running the Federal Reserve banking system? And where is the Federal Reserve banking system? See, that's Babylon the Great America. They got their face on that dollar, on that reserve currency. In 1944, they all came up, got together, and said, we're going to give all our gold to America. And they call it the International Monetary Fund. We're going to give all our gold to America, and we trust that America will give us this dollar, and we can trade this dollar, get this dollar back to them, this note. We can give this note back to them, and they'll give us our gold back. They giving us a guarantee that they'll give us our gold back. So all the nations of the whole world gave their gold to America. Then you have the World Trade Center. The World Trade Center says that, oh, for you to get the best amount for your trade, you need an American banking account, maybe even two of them. You get these American banking accounts, now you trading with the American dollar and not your currency that ain't worth nothing. See, you can trade with our American global dollar, our petrodollar. See, because that's how you're going to get the most of your money. That's why in Revelation, let's get that in Revelation. Revelation bring that point out the best. I'm going to start with chapter 18 and verse 3. It says, for all nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. See, they all signed up to the IMF money situation. It says, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. This is how they getting money, because they don't have to trade with their dollar. They made a deal with America. We'll trade with your dollar, your currency, and we'll come up faster that way. Okay. Now, when you go into who is this nation, who is the nation of people that's running this empire, this American empire, who is these people? Now, you look at what Daniel was talking about this fourth kingdom. You go to the book of Maccabees, because this is why they took it out, because they want to hide this information. They don't want you to identify who is the ruler of this American empire. It says, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, this first Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. The Macedonian who came to the land of Chittim had smitten Darius the king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So this Greco-Roman Empire done been taken over by a specific group of people. It says, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth, and went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations. So they came and they took over the whole world. Now, Maccabees identify who is these people, because when they went to go take control over Israel, the land of Israel, and the Israelites, they was named. It was the Maccabees battling these Grecian people. Okay, the so-called white man. This first Maccabees 5 and 3. It says, then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea. Now Judas, he was the leader of the Maccabees, the Israelites who was fighting against the Greek army, or the Greek government that was coming to take over their land and try to use them as tributaries. Because when you go back to first Maccabees, they wasn't operating like the American slave master or the American Edomites. See, it says, this is first Maccabees, the first chapter, verse 4. It says, and he gathered a strong host, meaning the army, and ruled over countries. See, this is what they doing with this American empire. And nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. See, they become tributaries. This is why they're using the American dollar. You go to Africa, you pull out a dollar, and them people will lose their mind. You go to any of these countries, and they will trade you and do business with you with this dollar at a drop of a dime, see, over their own currency. And they rather use the dollar than their own currency. That lets you know you in a kingdom that's ran by America, the Federal Reserve. Now, so it identified who these Grecians were. Then Joel identified these Grecians. See, prophecy identifies people. This is what the prophecies is the prophets was doing. They were laying down records, so you can't dispute it in the future and go to telling your lies. See, but what they would try to do, the main trick that they try to do, they try to say, oh, it was fulfilled already. See, this history was fulfilled and all this crap, trying to hide the facts. But this is Joel 3 and 6. It say the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians. So when you had the Grecians come to the Maccabees, they wasn't selling the Israelites. See, they had them in tribute to them. What Yahweh shall say? He said, give Caesar things unto Caesar. So Caesar and the Roman Greco Empire, they would just tax you. They didn't have the form of slavery where they sold you to a family or a group of people. See? So this is not talking about no when the Maccabees and the Persians and all of that. No. This is talking about a future time where they're gonna be sold. Now when you go back up, it tells you, verse 3, it says, they have cast lots for my people and have given, this is verse 3, Joel 3 and 3. They have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot. See, they was dealing heavy in pedophilia, touching them little boys, painting them in, they'll put silver paint and gold paint all over the boy's body and send them to some child molesting slave master. It says, and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. All of the liquor and the wine that's being sold was being cropped by the Native Americans and by the Southern Kingdom that came from the west coast of Africa, down there in them islands, Antigua, where my peoples is from, Jamaica, and all of these islands that they took over. They was making the rum and all of this stuff. So this is not talking about no back in the Bible days, as these Negroes say. This is talking about a future time that the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem would be sold to the Grecians. And it identify who these Grecians was in verse 19 of Joel 3. It says, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah. See, hanging them on trees, feeding them to alligators, ripping their bodies apart while the women and children watch, molesting them as buck-breaking grown men. See, killing them for the wrong move, any wrong move that they make. The punishment was they was gonna serve their enemies, not that he was gonna send you to a nation that was just gonna kill you and slaughter you. The punishment was supposed to be you got to serve your enemy now. You want to be disobedient. But they was killing the people. They was having violence against the children of Judah. Now when you go to the next book, from Joel 3 to Amos chapter 1, it goes right into the same situation. 6 and 9 is talking about who was involved. It was the sub-Saharan slave trade with the Arabs. That's verse 6 of Amos chapter 1. Amos chapter 1 verse 9 is the Hamites, these Hamite Africans that was warring with our peoples over on the west coast of Africa and throwing us in the chains, taking us to the door of no return. The 300 people chained up, finna throw them on a boat. See, all Esau got to do is roll up on this ship, and boom, they off into the ocean, headed to these islands in America. And it says they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom. Now verse 11 tells you what the Lord was going to do about it. He said, Thus says the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. See, it's not going to be some forgiveness. Because this is what wicked Negroes is always coming out of their mouth. We all sin, and God, you supposed to forgive people. See, no, he's not going to turn away the punishment and forgive them. Because they participated in that slave trade. For 300 plus years, you got ships going from the door of no return coming over here to Babylon. And then you got the Native Americans being shipped over there, see, on slave ships. It says, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. See, he kept his wrath forever. He's killing people, man, with no pity, and he thinking that he gonna get away with it. Now, I want this Numbers, or is it Exodus? Let me try Numbers 30, either 35 or 33. Okay, I think it's number 35. Numbers 35 and 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So he's saying you're not going to be able to talk about, forgiveness, and please have forgiveness, and I'm going to scream out a name, see, and join a church, and you going to forget about it. No. That forgiveness was for the Israelites. Now when you go into Habakkuk, it tells you how these people came over here and got this land, and they slaughtered the people. But we're going to start at verse 1 and get these prophecies. It says, this Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So they were just writing the history down. And when they wrote this history down, it was going to debunk all these lies and these tricks that they try to come up with. You're a race of people by color. You're a race of people that's identifying with a language, Hispanic, people of Spanish or speaking Spanish, Spanish-speaking people, the Hispanics and Latinos. See, the Negroes, you're a color, you're black. See, that trick was going to be debunked and destroyed when these prophecies and these history come up on what people is going to go through what. Verse 3, it say, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. See, he wasn't going to let this information spread, because he had a time that they was going to be in captivity. It says, but at the end it shall speak. So at the end of their captivity, that's when he was going to let the vision come out. That's when the prophets was going to come out. That's when the prophets was going to get the spirit. Just like Acts 2 and 17, it said, in the last days I will pour out my spirit. So these people talking about they got the spirit, but their vision is not going according to this Bible. And I'm going to get into that, because see, that's that song that is being sung. They not singing that song because they talking about God love everybody and God forgive everybody. It says, in the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Okay, I'm gonna get down to the point because he's talking about the vision, and the main thing he was doing is identifying who this vision was focused on. It says, verse 5, ye also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. So he's exposing somebody. Somebody is getting exposed for being a proud man because they got the global dollar. See, they got the global military and military bases and embassies ruling all the other people. It says, neither keepeth at home, see, he in everybody's country, who enlarges his desire as hell. He desired to be in everybody's country with his monetary fund, his Federal Reserve banks. It says, and is as death. So this man represents death. This is what Revelation, the pale horse, is talking about. And you got Edomites straight up telling you, we are the pale horse. See, he gonna let us exterminate a fourth of the peoples. It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. This is what the American empire encompassed. They call it a global, not a global, but a melting pot. See, and I want to get to the point on this, the land part, because it says the blood can't be cleansed but by the blood of him that shed the blood. So what did this empire, this American empire, and these Edomites who got everybody flocking to their land, these 10 kings of the fourth kingdom, they got everybody flocking to them. What did they do? It's Habakkuk 2 and 12. It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood. So you had to come over here and slaughter the Native Americans. See, Montezuma down there in Mexico, he had about 400,000 people. They living good with nice clothes, nice houses, with a water system, wearing jewelry and elegant clothes and stuff, eating good. And these dragons come out of nowhere with Christopher killing Columbus and Americo Vespucci, the Italian navigator. See, and they what was it? Ferdinand gave them a mercenary price to bring her back 10% of the gold and all the precious goods. You go down there to Montezuma and you rob his behind, man. And I want everything I want 10% of what you get from him. It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and established a city by iniquity. See, he established the city by slaughtering these people, making all kind of treaties, lying to them. See, that's why I say you are lying. If you lie to somebody, you hate they behind. So this is what the vision was going to come out in the end, that the so-called white man is the certified devil and represents death. The red horse, the black horse, the pale horse, he all of it. Now when you go into, let's see here. Let's get Malachi, because we identified these Greeks for being the children of Esau. Now Malachi chapter 1, I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste. That means his kingdoms and his children waste for the dragons of the wilderness. And that's why Apostle John, he called them the red dragon. See, because Malachi already put that dragon on them. They are the red dragon. He says, verse 4, for Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. So he said he gonna return, or they say they gonna return and build. That's the Renaissance time. See, because the Byzantine Empire was ruling the world. See, it wasn't these dragons. It was the Byzantine Empire that was ruling under Constantine, and they was not no red dragon. They was the Moors. See, the Moors had the same technology or the same setup as Montezuma over here. They had water systems, baths. They knew how to wash their behind. See, they wasn't like these dragons. It says, we are impoverished. So they was under the Byzantine Empire. They was impoverished. Said, but we will return and build the desolate places, thus says the Lord of hosts. It says, they shall build, but I will throw down. So they going to build up their American empire, their fourth kingdom. In Revelation, it talked about they would have a death stroke. That red beast, see, that beast in Revelation will have a death stroke. That's when they was impoverished. They went back into the caves of the Caucasus Mountain over there in Georgia, Russia. It says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them, see, all of the Edomites, the border of wickedness, and the people against who the Lord have indignation forever. See, people don't understand. He's setting they behind up. See, this is why Apostle Paul had to bring it out. And he's telling you that the Lord set them up. See, he's quoting Malachi, this in Romans 9 and 13. See, he was a doctor of the law. He was a certified lawyer of the Mosaic law. See, and he wasn't a Levite. See, he was from the tribe of Benjamin. And he understood that law. He was a Pharisee. And let me go further in verse, I want to get that. I think it's 1 Corinthians, or is it 2 Corinthians? 2 Corinthians 11, 22. Okay, no, he not. That's not the one. I think it's Ephesians. Let me try this. Cause I want that Pharisee situation. Ephesians chapter 2. Okay. He says, where is it? You know what? Let me skip that because that's just common knowledge, man. Let me stick to that Romans. Yeah, he was a Pharisee. Now, he knew this law so good. This is why he bringing out Malachi. This is what lawyers do. They go into the law and they bring out cases where you can identify what the judgment would be. They bring out judgments. He was bringing out the judgment of Esau, the nation of Edom. This Romans 9, and I'm going to start with 13. It says, as it is written in the Malachi, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. He says, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. So now he's saying, okay, this is bigger than him just hating the man. He got a plan. Look at verse 17. He says, for the scriptures said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up. So he raised Esau up for a purpose. He let them come back in the Renaissance time for a purpose. He let that red dragon come out of the bottomless pit. See, that bottomless pit is not talking about some what you call it. They have some spear in the sky, something in the sky with a deep hole, like Superman stuck in some what it had, what's the movie, Get Out? He was stuck in the sunken place. No, it's not a sunken place for the devil, man. It was the bottomless pit, meaning they was at the land, and pit means land when they're talking about the Bible. Pit means land. So the nation of Edom was in the land that was not at the bottom, they was at the top. See? That's all it's telling you. Now, where is it? This is Romans 9:17. He says, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So he raised them up for a purpose. He wanted to show that this nation is so powerful. First of all, the prophecy in Daniel, they're going to devour the whole earth, the fourth kingdom. See, they was going to be the fourth kingdom that he was prophesying about. That was going to devour the whole earth and break it into pieces. Let me get that in Isaiah. It says it better than anything else. And then the Babylon, that's why it called them Babylon. But look at what it says about these people. It says, this Isaiah 14, and start with 6. It says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger. See, he ruling the nations, dropping bombs on them, man. Non-stop dropping bombs on these people. It says, that ruled the nations in anger and persecuted and none hinder it. Now I want verse 17. No, verse 16. Because they try to call Lucifer this red dragon that's in some kind of sunken place in the sky. But it's talking about Esau, Edom. Verse 16, it says, they shall see you, they that see you shall narrowly look upon you and consider you, saying, is this the man? See, not no freaking devil. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble? See, the so-called white man. It says, that did shake kingdom. How is he shaking kingdom? With his military, dropping bombs on these people. It says, that made the world a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. See, this is what the scriptures is talking about, man. They try to say that this hide behind this Lucifer crap, when they were the ones that was prophesied that the Lord was going to raise up that fourth kingdom to rule. Now let's go to second Esau'S. Second Esau'S, starting with verse 11, because John didn't put this on them, and Daniel didn't put it on them. So they say, let's hide the book of Esau'S. They will never know what we talking about. They will never know what Daniel talking about, because it's precept upon precept. Precept must be upon precept. That's Isaiah 28 and 9 and 10. So if they don't got the precepts, see, they don't got the different commands that you gotta know, they not gonna understand. So this is 2nd Esdras 11. It says, then I saw a dream. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle. What nation has the eagle? See, the American Empire. The bald eagle is the nation. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 5. It says, moreover, I behold and look, the eagle flew with her feathers and ran upon the earth and over them that dwell therein. So these Americans is the eagle. This is the kingdom that Daniel was talking about. Now to get to the point, who is this This eagle, verse 40. It says, and the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past. See, Daniel was talking about that fourth kingdom. And that fourth kingdom is talking about a empire that has the bald eagle. This is simple stuff. It says, and had power over the world with great fearfulness. They will drop a bomb on you. See, Trump get on there and get to running his mouth, and he'll say anything, man. Man, we gonna drop a bomb that'll blow you into smithereens so fast your head will spin. See, we got the best military, we got the best bombs, we got a gold dome, we got the Space Force. We'll shoot some lasers down from space and destroy your behind. See, they talk a big time fearful game. They throwing all kind of threats. It says, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelled he upon the earth with deceit. See, the fourth kingdom was going to be the liar. The fourth kingdom was going to be the devil, man, a deceiver. See, they was going to be the adversary of God, Satan. That word Satan goes back to Satan in the Hebrew, which means adversary. That's what the Edomites was going to be raised up, just like he rose up Pharaoh and these Hamite Africans. He going to raise up the so-called white man and let them have a mighty military so he can destroy their behind and show his power. This is what a simpleton Negro can't wrap his head around. He says, verse 41, for the earth have thou not judged with truth. See, he didn't tell nobody he was an Edomite. They didn't say, we are the Edomites, and have all kind of Edomite songs. They say, oh, we know what, we're a color. We're a color, and we the best color, the white color. See, we not a nation. We don't have a daddy. We just have a color. See, our daddy never existed. See, they say, what's the best trick that the devil pulled, that he never existed? See, we don't come from, Esau is dead and all his children is dead. See, they don't exist. We just a color, and y'all just a color. We don't have no forefathers, and especially not no forefathers that go back to the Bible. This is what they do, man. Now this is 2nd Esdras 12. Let's link that up with Daniel. It says, this 2nd Esdras 12 and 11. It says the eagle. See, this bald eagle of American Empire, who you saw come up from the sea, is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of your brother Daniel. Okay? But it was not expounded unto him. See, you couldn't get no details by reading the book of Daniel. You didn't know that it was specific on a nation that would be represented by the eagle. And this is how they was gonna be destroyed. Now let's go to Lamentations, because in Amos chapter 1 it said, you will not turn the punishment away from these Edomites. Because he said he cast off all pity. This is Lamentations 4 and 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. So it's talking about these Edomites. Jump down to verse 22. It says, the punishment of your iniquity is accomplished. So yeah, they weren't supposed to come over here and have no pity and get to slaughtering the Native Americans, because what's the guy, William Penn, who started the state of Penn State, he say he came over here and the natives was black and they were speaking Hebrew. See, documented operation. They was black and speaking Hebrew. So what are you talking about? Talking about red peoples. It says, the punishment of your iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. So he won't give us this vision at the end when our punishment is accomplished. At the accomplishment of our punishment, that's when the vision was gonna come out. That's why he didn't give it to no wicked behind slave master, see, or no wicked behind Catholic Church who say go out and enslave all these non-Edomites. It says, he will no more carry you away into captivity. You will never go into captivity under these people no more. We gonna be the slave master forever. It says, he will visit your iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover your sin. So now he gonna throw they behind in chains. See, we gonna throw them in a pit, and then we gonna tell them to get to work. See, come out of that pit and get to work. See, because you reap what you sow. You sowed slavery, you gonna reap slavery. This is what happened. But see, they know how to rig the Bible and rig media. That's another part of the weapon that he gave them. He didn't just give them a nuclear missile. See, he gave them something greater than a nuclear missile. That's lies and deception. Let me get that in Revelation 4. This is Revelation 6, not Revelation 4, Revelation 6 and 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red. See, Edom means red. That was the Edomites. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. See, that television is a major great sword. See, tell our vision. Tell them a vision that's a bold-faced lie. Give them a vision that they can't